What happens when you have an Aimpoint CompM4s and you add to that equation a Ruger 1022, and then you add to those two items Ruger BX25 25 round magazines? Well, when you take an Aimpoint CompM4s and you add a Ruger 1022 to that, you have fun. One of the things that really surprised me when I began shooting my 1022 with the Aimpoint CompM4s, and I just kind of put this combination together. I got the Aimpoint CompM4s to go on a AR-15, but I decided, hey, I just want to see how it'll work on the 1022, and I could not believe how fast I was able to shoot. You've already seen some of those videos on that steel plate rack. I couldn't believe I was hitting stuff faster than I was being able to, my brain was being able to kind of take it in. I'm moving very quickly there. You guys are seeing some of the first shots I ever took with the Aimpoint CompM4s on the 1022, and I could not believe how quickly I was being able to hit and transition to the next plate, to the point where I was hitting the, understand I hit the plate, moving to the next plate, shooting it, and that plate hadn't fallen down, because sometimes that plate rack struggles with a 22 long rifle. It's really designed for centerfire pistols, so the knockdown power isn't always as powerful with the 1022 as it needs to be. But I couldn't believe I was being able to shoot and come back. It was so fluid, and I started to see what all the hype has been about when it comes to red dot sights. Just to give you guys a little idea of the base that I'm using here, this is a LaRue base. This is the 1/3 co-witness for an AR-15 mount, and it will not fit onto your Ruger 1022 standard factory rail without modifying that rail. And I did the modifications myself with a Dremel tool, and I was going to buy a base anyway, another base, so I figured out, hey, while I wait for that base to come, why don't I just modify this? So I had to widen and deepen the cut there with a Dremel tool. I was very careful. If you decide to do this, you can see I attempted it over here, and the way that it mounted got in the way of the bolt release. But the bolt handle there. I'm actually kind of happy the way it's worked out. Just if you could do this yourself, be very careful as you do that. Take little amounts away with your Dremel tool. Move slowly, because it's easy to mess that up. But it quick detaches with this LaRue mount on and off. I'll show you how that works there. Just pop it closed, tightens it up just like so. I think you could probably do that very easily with the standard mount that comes with the factory Aimpoint CompM4s. I purchased this package from LaRue. But I have been really impressed with how fast and accurate and quickly I can move from one target to the other using the red dot on the 1022. It's just a fun thing. And I'm probably not going to keep the Aimpoint. It's a very expensive sight to keep on a 1022. Long term, but it has been a lot of fun to play with it, and it's definitely allowed me to do more shooting right away than I would have been able to afford shooting 223 or 5.56 ammo. I would definitely recommend the Aimpoint CompM4s. I've got range reports 1 and 2 up on the Ruger 1022 takedown, and this is actually the takedown model. I'll just show you guys that right here. Pops right down. Found that it maintains zero very well. I like this package. I like the way it works together. The distance here is probably a little bit high with this 1/3 co-witness. You could bump that down considerably, but it does work. I raised the cheek weld on my stock a little bit there to try and compensate for that, but I really like the Aimpoint CompM4s. I really like the way it functions on the 1022. I cannot believe how quick I am on target and how easy it is to transition from one target to the other. I love being able to shoot with both eyes open. Well, as you can see, the Aimpoint CompM4s plus a 1022 equals a lot of fun. I would definitely recommend red dots to you. I love magnified scopes, whether that's a fixed 4 power or a 3x9 or any other variation. I like the ability to see what I'm shooting at further down range, but for speed and a larger field of view, the red dot is awesome.